Hey guys, I told most of you that I wouldn't be here today because I have a doctor's appointment. And so let's get started with our day. So you're going to see that you're going to start with your activator and you're wearing the world number 15. So right here you have your activator 127 using resource maps for copper. And that takes us to our activator page. Here we have our affirmations. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am capable. I am in charge of my destiny. Today is a new day with a new opportunity to make your world a better place to be. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. I think it's easy sometimes in today's day and age for us to find excuses for things instead of holding ourselves accountable, working towards things. So here's our Where in the World number 15, clue number 5. Here's a picture of those monkeys I was talking about yesterday. So click the link to Where in the World number 15, and that's going to take you to the page in which we have all of our clues. Okay, so review those, and then tell me where are we visiting and the country where it is located. Now it specifically talked about whether or not it was a country, so what country has possession of this. All right, so that's our Where in the World, and our activator today is the resource copper. So here you can see the need for copper. So in this graphic here, you have where it is showing you years across the bottom. So 2015 down to 2100. And so as you are looking at the different years, then you can see the color and the range. So this is copper demand. Okay. And so the demand is like from 2015 for buildings, it was 0 to 10, so it was at 10 meters per year, okay, or metric tons, I'm sorry, per year. And so then you see the different uses of copper, and over time, what's going to be using. So here you can see a pie chart that shows you the different uses of copper, and then the copper extraction. So this shows you the amount extracted and the amount that's left. And then up the bottom, you can see the years. And then the line is showing you over time how much is being extracted. Okay. And then on the bottom map, you see the world's top producers of copper. And so it shows you the top 5. And then there is a country map if needed. And then we're going to go on to questions. Question 3, what is its biggest use? Question 4, in what year will the amount of copper extracted cross with the amount of copper left? So look at your graphic and see how that crosses. And then megatons of copper will be needed in the following year. So look at each of these years and then see how many megatons of copper they predict we're going to need. And then you have 2 drop downs here at the bottom. The need for blank and blank will increase the most over the next 75 years. So what 2 areas of growth are going to be using copper more? And then on this last one, you're going to put the countries in order from the greatest to the least as for their production of copper. So who's producing the most down to who's producing the least. All right, so you're going to take care of your activator. You can turn the video off for a second while y'all have about 5 minutes to work on your activator. All right, So yeah, that was the puppies playing, sounding like some vicious little critters. All right, so next we're going to get in our groups to continue our product. So our project, remember that project leads, you guys need to stay on top of your groups. Your goal is to finish collecting your research. Shouldn't take longer than 10 to 15 minutes since you are dividing that equitably amongst your team members. So project lead, your next job is going to be to open and share a PowerPoint presentation with your team. And then you're going to begin building your PowerPoint. They're acting a little feisty tonight. All right. So again, let's talk about what you can do to do your PowerPoint. So I'm simply going to go to where my mail is. So when you have your mail, oops, I don't actually need to go to the app, but you see PowerPoint right here. Or you can just say on your main page, you have PowerPoint right here. So either way, either go in your menu and do PowerPoint here. And then when you open the PowerPoint, it's already going to be online. Okay, so here's your PowerPoint. You can choose, do you want a blank presentation? Do you want a theme? You can choose different themes, or you can just make one up when you get there. All right, so let's see if I just choose a theme. There we go. Now, what you have to remember though, when you choose a theme, it has like other stuff built in. So don't just leave this stuff hanging around. If you're not going to use it, delete it. Okay. So again, if you're not going to use the stuff in the PowerPoint, delete it and then put your own stuff in. All right. So now that I have a PowerPoint, I simply go to my share button right here. And in my share button, I'm going to choose share. And then I'm going to type my teammates' names in here, including mine. So project lead, type your group members and Miss Brandy and send this to us. Okay. So one other thing, just in case any of you have this happen to you, if you get a message saying that your PowerPoint won't open, make sure you're not checking mail through the little mail app. If you use the little mail app, it does not recognize Office 365. So you won't be able to open it. Make sure you're actually on a Chrome browser and you go to aikencountypublicschooldistrict.net and log into email there. Okay, so I had a couple people in third period that I believe that was their problem yesterday of why they couldn't work. All right, so you got your PowerPoint, and then you'll come back over to your assignment and take a look at the directions for your assignment. Okay, so you have your graphic organizer for those of y'all that need the rubric, not the rubric, but the exemplar that I put, so it can help you see what you should research. Guys, please make sure that you are putting adequate information. You're not just putting a list. Like I saw a few people yesterday put things like they have good food and fun things to do. That doesn't tell me anything because that can be everywhere. That could be your house. Okay, so make sure you're putting specific information that is unique to that particular country. Okay, and helps us learn about that country. So you have a link right here, and I've also placed the directions right here. So if you come here, this is where you'll actually be submitting your PowerPoint presentation when you are finished. So the requirements say a minimum of 7 pages, okay? And the reason there is a minimum of 7 pages is because slide 1 is going to be your country's name and some sort of picture that represents that country. You're going to have your continent's name and some sort of picture or map that represents your continent. Then you want to describe 2 to 3 physical features and put only 1 per slide. And if you can put some pictures to help us identify that, is exactly what we need. And then on slide 4, again, because there's 2 to 3 here, that's going to be more than 1 slide. So the next slide that you're creating is going to be your climate. So tell us about your climate and maybe show us some graphics of some sort that show us climate, or show us some different times of climate throughout the year, or something that would help us identify. Like when I did Namibia, I could show you the picture of the Kalahari Desert so you could see how arid it is. All right, and then you want to talk about the population. So in your next slide, tell us about your country's population. What did you find out? Do you have a snip of population data that you can show us, or a graph that shows them on the climb for their population? What is something that can support your population? Then on the next slide, you're going to describe at least one way that your country uses its land or resources, and then a picture of that use. So this is where I told you about diamonds and uranium. So you'd give some information about diamonds, and then you would show me some pictures of the diamond mines. Then you would show me uranium, show me maybe what uranium is, maybe a uranium mine, and then you could even show me some damage that uranium has done to the lands in Namibia, okay, or whatever that you might find out. And then finally, our reasons for visiting this country. And again, make sure that you are giving specific information relative to that country, not just generic stuff that you made up from your head. Like, oh, I want to eat some Jamaican food, so that's why I'm going to Jamaica. No, you need to go tell me about an authentic Jamaican meal. And what about that meal, okay? All right, so make sure that everybody has their job and that you are holding one another accountable, project leads. You're staying on top of your teammates, making sure they're using their time wisely. They're not getting off track with things they don't need to be off track of. All right, I will see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend.